Hello, everyone, and welcome to another podcast episode of Holistic Human Performance Podcast. I am your host, Gena Bradshaw, and today we have a very special guest, Nikeya Burnett, and I am very pleased to have her on. I mean, we connected at a networking event, specifically the Babes in Business Long Island networking event. And actually my friend Mary, who will be on the podcast eventually, introduced us. She was like, you need to talk to Gena. And then we've been in touch since. So I'm really excited to have you on. Now, Nikeya has a very interesting background, and she is truly, truly, truly giving back to those who are in need. And I am so excited to have you on and you just talk about your journey and, why you do what you do. And, it's phenomenal. So welcome.
Thank you for having me. It's such a pleasure to join you today.
All right. So let's dive right in. Usually I start with my guest talking about their journey, but I want you to start what you're doing right now and then go backwards, because I just want you to right out the gate, like, what is it that you do? Because you see all these beautiful wigs behind you. So go right into it and then talk about your journey as to how you even got to where you're at today.
Okay, yeah, definitely. So my name is Nikeya Burnett, and I am the owner of Sereen Hair and Beauty Foundation. I am located in the heart of Islip on 478 Main Street, Sereen Studio. What I do is I educate women on their hair loss journey while dealing with chemotherapy, while going through their chemotherapy treatment journey. So from understanding their treatment, when the chemo is going to kick in, how the scalp's going to feel, when the hair is going to fall, when the hair is going to grow, different wigs and quality of wigs. Also, when the hair is going to grow back. But not only that, the biggest piece of my business is that I use women information, pretty much what's located in their purses in their backyard, from their insurance to other cancer coalitions. I connect women to all the resources in the community to help support them on their journey, especially with their wigs. Hair is very important while going on this journey, and it's for years have been overlooked as it's just hair. And really, it is more than hair. It actually creates a light path on the journey that they're going through, because they're dealing with so much challenges of losing a part of their identity and also battling. I always say it's a journey because we always want that to come to an end. Journeys don't last forever. And unfortunately, everybody's journey is different. So just sharing information so people could be aware of what's going to happen next. So I use their insurance to help them get reimbursed for the wigs that they purchase from me. I do make human hair wigs and also sell synthetic wig options, and just giving the information to make the right decision to go on the journey. Now, how this all got started is naturally, I've always been connected to hair. Hair is a natural gift for me. But I've always loved giving back. So I always volunteered since a little girl, going to nursing homes and salons and just any type of mission that I can give back. So while doing hair, growing up, parents wanted me to either, be in healthcare or finance and different things like that. I always knew I was a little different, more hands-on, creative. And from hair, I ended up doing medical billing. From medical billing, worked at an insurance company, done that for over 15 years. And I moved around in different states. And I went from North Carolina back to New York. And when moving back to New York, I applied for a medical billing position, which turns out to be a brand new cancer center that wasn't even open as yet. Somebody had seniority over the medical billing position, which led me, I just accepted a office coordinator position. I've never worked directly with patients, but this way just gave me an eye opener. And with this eye opener, working at a cancer center, doing being an office coordinator, I also learned the chemo drugs, understanding scheduling. So with being in charge of chemo scheduling, understanding that chemo drugs is like the science and math together, knowing which drugs could be mixed and fluids and days apart. And just understanding that just gave me another eye opener to the treatment and how it works. Not only that, but every single woman that I came across in that center, the first thing that they cried and was concerned about was their hair.
Mm-hmm.
And, for someone who haven't went through it or, dealt with it close, the outsiders may look at it like, oh, they're more concerned about your health, but the hair was the number one thing that women would, be focused on. And with my background, I just started making wigs, donated it to women in the cancer center. Then I started educating people how to get reimbursed for the wigs that they were purchasing, and just using all the information that I knew in my background. And then with running the chemo scheduling unit, I was the only admin person that was sitting in the clinical meetings with the doctors and the surgeons. So I understood that background of things. And I was just a sponge in this world. And with my background information, I just put everything together, and I just took a leap of faith and decided to quit my job at the cancer center to open up my studio, where now I work closely with all the cancer centers. They traffic everyone. If they're doing chemotherapy and they're going to lose their hair, they know to send them my way to give them the resources and the information that they need. And to date, I've helped over 550 women since December of 2019. And the response and the outcome has been amazing. And now I'm on the mission where I've been going to different BOCES and cosmetology schools to educate students on what to expect, to how to properly care for their clients when they're sitting in their chair, when they're going through treatment. Even if they don't know what to do, just to know where to point someone to guide them in the right direction. Yeah, so the mission is growing. I'm getting a lot of volunteers. So I'm a profit and nonprofit, and the word is spreading, and the community wants to help. And I just want to make sure everyone knows that there is someone out there to help and guide them through the journey, where they don't have to feel lost and feel like their identity is being compromised, to just hold their hand through it.
Ugh, you're so phenomenal. I have full body chills. You are a prime example of someone who kept learning, kept learning, kept learning. You were listening and absorbing all these breadcrumbs. And then, you had such a bigger mission that you knew, but like didn't know what it was, but like knew it was there. And then you said you took a leap of faith, and that's like legitimately this unraveling of your spiritual awakening. And oh, this is amazing. And I have to add, so when I was going through leukemia from age 3.5 to about 5, a little after, obviously I did not have any hair. And when you're young, like, at that age, I didn't realize in the beginning, but then I started to see, like, why do other girls have hair? Why don't I have hair? And then I really wanted a wig. And it was such an issue trying to find a wig. And a lot of other nonprofit organizations, even that, sell or give away wigs, they were like, oh, well, we can't really do that for someone who's, going through chemotherapy, because their hair is going to grow back. And my mom was like, are you kidding me? So, it's finding someone like yourself who's going to be able to point you in the right direction, or be able to help you when you're going through such an adverse time in your life, and a very emotional time as well. It seems like you're very grounded in what you stand for and what you do, which I so much appreciate.
Yeah, working in a cancer center, it really gives me an eye opener. What I always have to tell women is that we're all human beings, and just because somebody is going through something, they don't now identify as that disease.
Right.
Still a human being. So even just changing the narrative of not having a pity. So everyone who comes in here, I tell them, welcome to the new pity party. Like, just change the narrative. Like, we don't have to walk around with our face, but frowned and just, upset. I always try to be optimistic and pushing positivity, even with the wearing of the wig. Women, going through that, they don't sign up to want to wear a wig. It's just a situation where it's like, holy smokes, like, my life is flipped upside down and I'm about to lose my hair. And naturally, as women, we want to get our nails done, our hair done, our makeup done when we're having a bad day. So to go through something like that and not have hair, eyebrows, can't do certain type of things, it's bummer. So I'm definitely blessed to be able to create a space for women to feel like they're just getting their hair done and not feeling like, oh, I'm going through treatment, and someone else they could sit. I do one-on-one appointments, but very few. I'll have like more than one client at a time. But if they are, they're going through different journeys, but the story is not far-fetched, and they can talk and feel safe and comfortable. But yeah, it's just been a journey of sharing information. And that's what I do. I'm sharing information because information goes a long way. And even with stylists pointing clients that's going through treatment in my direction, I tell them you still get to keep your client at the end of the day, but knowing that you help them the best way you know how without going from a hairstylist to a nurse or a doctor, because that's what's needed. Just point in the right direction.
Yes, absolutely. And you're literally the guiding light. Like you are leading the way. I mean, you have such leadership qualities. Were you always like this as a child?
Was I was like the leader, the bossy, like I'm not doing, but even like on this journey, and sometimes I tell people all the time, in life, you have to do things that you don't want to do to get to where you're trying to get to. So people may think that, and some may think it sounds bad when I say it, but people may think that hair is not my purpose. Helping women and information, sharing information and being cute with it is just as fabulous as just, wearing a suit and getting the job done. So for me, I always looked at my career journey because it was confusing. I didn't know what I wanted to do in life. Doing hair give you the freedom to move and dress and express yourself. But when you're doing something corporate style, you have to follow the guidelines and how follow how everyone else is moving. And it's just like, yeah, no, that's not going to work. So just be able to take it and do it with a twist and still give back, still help, still keeping people spirits and soul feeling beautiful and not feeling left alone is very important. A lot of women are dealing with this in silence. They can't talk to their husband, their kids. They're thinking about the grandkids. They're thinking about their mom, their dad, how everybody's thinking and worried about them. And no one have the safe space to even just scream, kick, and cry, or they feel vain if they talk about, my hair. And it's just like, you shouldn't feel guilty. This is your journey. Own your journey. Go through it how you feel and how you choose. But I don't allow the pity party in here. So as soon as I hear the negativity, I stop it, because sometimes people need to shake up from that.
Oh, I so agree with you on that. It's I'm going to say this and people may get triggered, but that's okay. It's like, are you going to be staying in the victim mentality or are you going to be a victor of your life? And, I talk about this all the time, law of attraction. If you are putting out those negative thoughts, guess what? It's going to come right back to you. Your inner world creates your external world. So, as you go through this journey and as you go through this process, you are shedding the old you. And within that process, you have to just go with the flow. You just have to surrender and be like, okay, it is what it is. I can control the controllables. Everything else, it is what it is. And just toss it up. And have people in your corner like you who support, who guide, who teach. Like you're such a teacher in this lifetime for sure. I mean, it's incredible. And seriously, like the moment we met, I was like, I need to get to know her.
I felt the same, everything happened for a reason, and the connection and just bond and just the growth and networking. Like it's beautiful when two individuals just click, we other, but instantly it was like, yes, I'll be there. Whatever you need, call me. Because we know that we're doing something that's giving back to the community. Somebody needs to hear this. Someone needs to know that there's a community. You're supporting a community of women that needs to hear this. So you're doing your service as well. And to add on to people being committed to whatever they're going through or, just staying in that victim role. This is why I say you can't put a disease on somebody and just say that's their personality and that's who they are. People are who they are at the end of the day. If someone was a Scrooge before and now they're a Scrooge going through treatment, they're still a Scrooge until they realize that they are not in control of everything in their life. Like you have to be able to be free and know that the universe or whatever, like you said, what you manifest, it will guide you and just got to think positive and just push through it. But yeah, totally agree with your statement.
Absolutely. And again, we're not saying this journey is easy. And I love that you're able to hold space because listen, this is like for myself too, like it hits home, like the fact that I can even I went through the journey. I'm going through the healing journey, and holding space for other people who also are going through their cancer journeys. Like, for someone who didn't go through it, I have to commend you, because it is, oh yeah, it can be very emotional. And like, for you to be able to just stand in your true, like, authentic self and hold space for someone who is going through that, and being like, listen, it's time for a shakeup. Even if, it's not, you're supporting them and you're guiding them in a way, in a loving way, and making sure that you support them. But at the same time, you're like, listen, it's not, you can get through this. You just have to change your attitude.
It's tough love,
Tough love.
it's tough love wrapped up in there. Because a lot of times, unfortunately, a lot of people just coddle without even showing, like, look, like, it could be worse, or it could be this, or we're going to get through this. Just changing the narrative of everything is very important. Unfortunately, a lot of people choose to stay in a negative space, committed to those thoughts, versus just opening up to allow some sunshine or some light into a negative situation. And there can be there's a lot of course, there can be a lot of downs, but there can be up days as well. But I also, to add to that statement of me not going through the actual journey, but holding space to give back, I feel like as human beings, it's very important for us to give, and it comes back to you. I may not need help today, but who's to say I won't need it tomorrow? Right. And who's making the change to make sure that the kids in the future, and just that we're making, this world is new. I always say we're living in a new world. Things are happening every day. New cases are coming out. People are getting younger and younger, older and older. Nobody has the answers. We're all trying to figure it out. Why not try to figure it out together? Share information, share resources, lend a shoulder, lend a helping hand. Like, it doesn't cost that much just to give back. And I sympathize and I feel for everyone everyone is going through something. And unfortunately, there's a disease out here that's moving around and is growing. And a lot of people are trying to find research to stop it. But I feel like equally there needs to be resources and support.
Yes.
So it's definitely just, getting people ears perked up and getting it out there. Even with insurance companies, every insurance company doesn't cover towards a wig. But because I work for a third-party insurance billing company, meaning I manage multiple insurance plans, I know the proper way of how to ask the right questions to make sure that people are using their benefits the right way. So I always say I work from the mailroom up in every industry, from the medical billing, cancer center, to insurance, and just understanding the moving pieces to properly assist. So I was fortunate to be placed in that position to catch these things and soak it up like a sponge to give it back out to the community.
Yeah. And it's so cool, because you almost like knew that you needed to learn these things and incorporate this into whatever the bigger picture was, which is, again, you were like, your soul was like speaking to you and you didn't even know consciously. It just like, you led the way. You kept going. Okay. All right. What next? All right. What next? And you just kind of rolled into it. And seriously, amazing work. And like you said, it's all about giving back. Like, we have to get back to familial and community support. We need to get back to really truly helping others, because it feels good. It feels good to give back.
Very rewarding. People ask me, well, I opened 3 months before the pandemic and everybody was nervous for me. But once more, things, when they're out of your control, they're out of your control. And that was tough, but I learned that my business plan was also pandemic proof, because I can help anyone anywhere. I've helped a teacher in Maryland. I've helped the cancer director in North Carolina get their wigs and get reimbursed for it. But not only that, like, money didn't do it for me. Seeing people smile at the tears of joy, and just knowing, like, even if someone didn't buy a wig, even just giving them the little information on what to expect when their hair is going to fall, how the scalp's going to feel, because You're clueless going through this journey. Your body is going through changes and you don't know what's happening. And all of a sudden you wake up and your hair is in clumps. Like, that's not normal. That's traumatizing, and people need to be coached. Women need to be coached. Not only women, kids and men too, So even me working in this industry, I want to connect to as many stylists and barbers and anyone that I can have an ear to understand and learn what's happening to better assist clients going through this journey. But, I do see this growing into something big, where people are going to start getting the service and the help that they need in other areas. We could talk about transportation, medication. There's so much out there that, there's not enough coverage or assistance for it. So yeah, definitely it's very rewarding. And a dollar sign couldn't make me feel the way that I feel helping women on this journey.
I love that. Oh, that is so phenomenal. Yeah, I can so see you expanding into so many, I can literally see it now, like into just so many different avenues of how to support and help and that guidance that people truly need. Because like you said, you're either researching it and finding it on your own, or you're not learning about these things. You're not learning about these things unless someone like you or someone like me are going to these different hospitals, going to different communities, going to different groups, hopping on a podcast and just talking about it. It's going to be difficult to find if you're not actually doing the research on your own, or, stepping it up and helping out the people.
Got to create our own lane for people to still be themselves no matter what, or still feel or look like themselves no matter what. That's anxiety and depression right there in itself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's hair. I always say it's not just hair. We're hair with a purpose. Like, it's hair with a purpose. So yeah.
I love it. I love it. Well, are there any words of wisdom you would like to leave the people?
Good question. Life would always throw sticks and stones at you. Take it and build a house, a mansion, a condo. Like, things don't have to always be so negative, and don't focus on the negative. Don't match energy. Like, the universe wants us to live in peace, and we have to find that median to get to that space, no matter what is happening. So just be kind to everyone. You don't know what someone's going through, and look into, a nonprofit or a community service and give back while you're at it.
Amazing. Thank you. Nikeya, where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram. It's Sereen Hair. That's SereenHair. Also on Facebook is Sereen Hair, SereenHair. I'm located on 478 Main Street in Islip, New York. Phone number 631-820-0064. If you know anybody who's going through treatment, post-treatment, and just need information or guidance, please just definitely give me a call and reach out to me, and I'll love to help any way that I can.
Thank you. I appreciate you so much for coming on. Thank you for taking the time.
Bye.
All right, guys, if you like this episode, like, share, subscribe. I'm going to put all of Nikeya's information in the show notes. And until next time, bye.